Good morning, Year 7. In the past few lessons, we have learnt a number of different rules that have helped us to solve our problems to find the values of pronumerals and giving reasons. Today, we're not learning any new ones, but we're going to mix up all the ones we have learnt and see if you can remember them. So let's go through a few examples here. It says, calculate the missing angle and give reasons. Question 1, we have two straight lines that are crossing over, and we have angle B, which is opposite the 37. This is what we call vertically opposite angles, and those angles will need to be equal. So B equals 37 degrees, and in brackets we write because vertically opposite angles are equal. Question 2, we have a right angle that's been chopped into two pieces. So those two pieces, the A and the 30, must be equal to the 90 degrees because right angles must always equal 90 degrees. That's our reason. To solve the equation, I'm going to subtract the 30 from both sides. The A will then be by itself, and 90 minus 30 is 60 degrees. A equals 60. Question 3, we have a straight line that has been chopped into two pieces again. So these two pieces, the A and the 50, must add to give a straight line which is equal to 180. The reason is because straight angles equal 180. To solve the equation, I minus the 50 from both sides, and I will get A equals 130 degrees. Question 4, we have angle A, a big obtuse angle over here, and the 220 on the other side. Now those two angles together are going all the way around a revolution or all the way around a point. We call this angles at a point. These two angles add to 360. So we say A plus the 220 is equal to 360 because angles at a point equal 360. To solve the equation, I'm going to subtract 220 from both sides, and A will equal 360 minus 220, which is 140 degrees. On the next page, question 5. We've done one of these already in this lesson. We have a straight line, which means that these angles here are all going to add up to give 180. There's just three pieces this time, whereas the other question only had two. So starting with the A, we're going to add on the 90 and add on the 50, and that will equal 180. The reason is because straight angles are equal to 180. To finish the question, I'm going to add these angles together that are on the left-hand side. 90 plus 50 makes 140. A plus the 140 equals 180. Now to solve the equation, I minus 140 from both sides. A is now by itself. 180 minus 140 is equal to 40 degrees. Question 6, you will see, has two pronumerals in it. You can't do both of them at once. What this means when you have this happen is that you need to find out what A is, give a reason for A. Find out what B is, and give a reason for B. So you're really doing two things, two sets of working out in the one question. So starting with A, you can see that the A and the 52, I'm ignoring the B, the A and the 52 are making a straight line and they've been cutting that straight line up. So I'm going to add the A with the 52 and make that equal to 180 because straight angles are equal to 180. Then I'm going to solve this to find A. I'm going to minus the 52. A is by itself. 180 minus 52 is 128. Okay, now I'm going to look at the B. The B is making this cross shape with the 52. They are vertically opposite. The B is directly across from the 52. So I can say that B is equal to 52, and the name of this was vertically opposite angles are equal. Question 7, I can see that there are some parallel line markings in here, so we probably want to think about our 3 parallel line rules. Let's trace around the B and trace around the 120, and you can see a Z shape in there. The angles in the Z shape are equal, so B is equal to 120, and the name of this is alternate angles. So we say alternate, or alt for short, alternate angles are equal. Question 8 also has the parallel line markings, and this time I have got 2 pronumerals to find. So I'm going to start with the A. If I trace around the A and I trace around the 95, it's making an F shape. So that means that these are equal. A is equal to 95 because of corresponding angles are equal. Okay, once I have found the A, I now need to get to B. Now tracing around the B and the 95 doesn't make any of the shapes that we're after for the parallel lines. Okay, so I can't use those. Instead, what I can do is I can just use the straight line that is broken up by the A and the B. I know that the A here is 95 because I found that already, so I can find the B that way. So let's make this into an equation. B plus the 95, which is the A that's next to it, is going to be equal to 180 because they're making a straight angle, and straight angles equal 180. To solve that, I need to minus the 95 away, and B equals 180 minus 95, which is 85 degrees. Okay, so we found A, and there's a reason for A, found B, gave a reason for B. On to the next page, question 9. Again, we have 2 things in here to find. We need to find A and B. Usually alphabetical order is the easier way to go if you're ever worried which one to do first. So I'm going to have a look at the 40 and the A. So I'm drawing this on here because there's the little arrows on my parallel lines, and you can see the Z shape that is there. So that means that A is going to be equal to 40 because the Z shape is called alternate angles are equal. Okay, now let's try to find B. Now there's 2 ways that I could do this. I could go around the 40 and around the B, and I have a backwards C shape. So let's start with that. We could do B plus 40 equals 180 because co-interior angles equal 180. To solve that, I minus the 40, and B equals 140. Okay. The other option, if you wanted another option, you don't have to do it 2 ways, but you could have drawn a straight line between the A and the B, which means if we know that the A is 40, we could have said b plus 40 equals 180, which is what we had up here, but the reason would be because of the straight angle. So sometimes in questions there are multiple reasons that you could give to get to the same solution. And of course, if you finish that off, you're also going to get down to b is equal to 140. Because you go minus 40, minus 40, b is equal to 140. Okay, on to question 10. This has got 3 letters defined, A, B and C. Starting with the A and the 74, because 74 is the only number that I've got there. I'm not going to look at the other letters yet, I just want to look at one at a time. So the A is making a Z shape with the 74. That means that A is going to be equal to 74 because alternate angles are equal. Oh, I'll change that to an equal sign. Okay, next let's have a look at B. So I could go around the B and I could go around the 74, or alternatively you could have drawn a straight line through to the A if you prefer. But I'm going to do this co-interior one. So the B plus the 74 are equal to 180 because co-interior angles equal 180. Okay, then I'm going to minus the 74, minus the 74, and I get my answer for B, which is 180 minus 74, which is 106. To get C, C is all the way over here, and the 74 is over there. Even if I join that up, that's not an F shape. That's a bit weird looking. So I can't use my parallel line rules. I'm going to have to use something else. So probably the easiest thing to do is to use this cross shape in here and know that the C is vertically opposite the B. So I can just say C, because B is equal to 106, C will also be equal to 106 because vertically opposite angles are equal. Okay, so that is it for the theory part. Your turn to practice in your workbook on pages 37 through to 40.